Hello.
So I'm so happy to be here with Tyra, whom I met in 2006 when I was on her show. And following our conversation yesterday about not defining ourselves by our jobs, let me tell you that when I was on with her in 2006, backstage, she said to me that she really wanted to be a mom. So after a hard fertility journey, she's now the mom to a 6-year-old adorable boy called York.
Yes, named after New York City. Yes. Yes.
And she's also a devoted daughter to her amazing mother, with whom she wrote a book called Perfect is Boring. And she also has somebody whom I've grown to really enormously like over the last 2 days, and that's her life partner and business partner, Louis Martin.
Where
Take a
is he?
bow.
Oh, he's in the corner over there. Wave.
Over there. So now for this infinite learner that June talked about, she basically defined reality television with her show America's Next Top Model, which was in 180 countries. I didn't know there were 180 countries, and in 40 different international versions.
40 international ones.
And she also taught a course at Stanford Business School. And she did an enormous amount of things. But then, of course, she did that classic entrepreneurial pivot and brought out a line of ice cream called Smize. You know, it's either ice cream or tequila.
But everybody's doing tequila. People aren't really doing ice cream, but I'm like, dang, I know they're going to just be right behind the train, so I got to like make sure I'm differentiating and scaling before they catch up.
Next time we're doing Greek ouzo together, okay?
Oh, yes, I love it.
So, Tyra, you know, becoming an entrepreneur after being an internationally famous top model led to many naysayers, people who doubted you, people who didn't think you could do it. So how did you deal with the naysayers? And how did you deal with that voice in your head, you know, that I call the obnoxious roommate living in my head, and, you know, that doubts us, puts us down? How do you deal with these voices?
You know, I wish I can say, like, I'm so amazing and I have all this strength inside, but it's my mama. I feel like we all need that person in our lives that we can like cry on their shoulder when things are going awful. And we also need that person where we can just be like Kanye with, like, I'm the best thing in the world. You know, you need that person to feel safe and be able to do that too. And my mama is that. You know, when the fashion industry was saying my butt was getting too big, my mama said, you write down on this paper in this pizzeria, everybody that likes ass, you know, and you're going to find clients that like ass. You know, so she was that person that just picked me up when I was down.
I have a feeling Louis does that too, though.
Oh,
right?
Louis is everything. Louis picks me up. I mean, oh my gosh. So we are polar opposites in business. So he is CFO. He has sold publicly traded companies, and he's very successful. He retired. And we're in this beautiful relationship, and I was like, I'm pulling you out of retirement. We're going to do ice cream. And we are the polar opposites because I am analysis paralysis. I must know all the information until we make this decision. And he's like, let's just go. So you're Blitzscale, and I don't know which book I am, but yeah, we're very different.
But in fact, being an entrepreneur, as so many entrepreneurs here know, is all about making good decisions as opposed to making a lot of decisions.
Yes.
So what's your process? A combination of intuition and analysis, or just all analysis and data?
So all of my decisions in the past were gut. You know, looking in the fashion industry, and I didn't know what was called this at the time, but the white space. And my mother and I, on that piece of white paper, defined that the white space for me was to be the girl next door that just so happened to be Black. Because at my time, you know, the high fashion models were the Black women. Some were successful, not many, but it was very, you know, like intimidating. And nobody was like, you know, Cindy Crawford, you know, that girl on the side over there. And she's like, you know, I live next door to her. I went to high school with her, and now she's a supermodel. So that's what we decided to do, and reached out to Sports Illustrated and, you know, those types of things that were just very Americana. And it wasn't overnight. So that was a gut kind of thing, but I felt like as an entrepreneur, gut was not going to be enough, and I needed some schooling. So I enrolled 13 years ago in the Harvard Business School's Owner-President Management program. And now I feel like a tiger. I feel like I'm ready. I got the gut, I got the books. And we literally just finished the reunion this last weekend. Anybody went to the HBS reunion this weekend? Yes? Okay, yes, I was there. I don't know, I can't see if I saw you. Yeah, I saw you, yeah. Yes, so I feel that now it is a combination of gut, but then also some analysis, and I do get caught up, I know I do, but I need to go back to this.
That's really interesting because launching Smize, which is going to be called Smize Dream now, right?
Yeah, so y'all please don't tell the world because we're going to announce this later, and I don't know,
are we? No tweeting about Smize Dream.
No tweeting, please, but I do want to let everybody know that the company is called Smize Cream, but I have decided to not just have this purpose that our team will be focusing on, but to put it in the name of the ice cream. So we're changing Smize Cream to Smize and Dream. 2 verbs. Action, smize, and dream. Not Smize Dreams, we thought about that, but what is that? Smize Dreams, what the hell does that mean? But to have an action. And so we have these 4 points, which I won't talk about, but of spreading dreams and empowering each other from colleague to, to supervisor to somebody that is, reporting to you, and team members to customers, of making dreams come true and being real about it. And you can't hide it when it's in the title of your name, right?
So, that's what's so interesting, that you try to bring purpose and your purpose into everything you are doing, including ice cream.
Yes.
And how has your purpose changed through these years? Okay,
so in the beginning, Arianna, I was honestly, and a lot of entrepreneurs can probably relate to this, really just about myself. And particularly being a Black model and knowing that there were so many doors to knock down. So I was like, me. How many covers can I get on? How many things can I be the first to knock down these doors? And it was knocking down the doors for myself. Then it changed to opening doors for others. So like a them, from me to them, opening doors for others. And now I feel like it's this collective us, that everything that surrounds our business is really elevating. And I want you, when you're working at Smize and Dream, to either, advance on the inside, or we're going to help you exit and advance on the outside, just as long as you're going up.
And I love that because it's kind of connected to the fact that you seem to find joy in everything you're doing.
Yes.
And how does that work? Because so often the entrepreneurial journey is hard. There is a lot of disruption. There are a lot of naysayers. So give some advice to all the entrepreneurs here, how to find joy in the journey, even joy in the failures, using the failures as lessons and moving on.
Yes, I've definitely had lots of failures. I'm just very good at marketing and spinning it and being like, well, we did that because I'm really child. It was just a big failure. But I think I have a little bit of a challenge with this, but I really think it's pausing and celebrating. Even the micro wins or even the big wins, as opposed to, I remember yesterday in the session, hearing that when is enough, and it's all about more. And one thing Louis says is, let's take a moment. This is huge. Like, Smize Cream is flying out of 13 airports in North America on the world's #1 airline. And I go, oh, that's good. He's like, no, take a moment and celebrate that. This morning we just, did an LOI for one of the biggest cruise lines, and we're going to be on their whole fleet. And I'm like, okay, I got to go. He's like, no, take a moment and celebrate that. And then also he helps me to not be so down, because I can get really sad when certain things happen. And he really kind of levels me out. Thank you so much. Yes.
I love that because it's also a way to make pivots easier, because I've never met an entrepreneur who didn't have to pivot.
Yes.
Along the journey. You have the plan and then you change the plan, and agility is so key. So what is your advice around pivots, agility, not being down when you do have to pivot? And also, how do you build portable skills that you can take from reality television to ice cream.
Yes, I love that. Okay, I'll start with the pivot. And it's funny, I do like keynote, speaking at events and stuff, and I talk about pivoting, and it's almost like being on the runway, like boom, 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 turning, And for me, pivoting is...
Can you do that? You want to
Oh
walk
gosh,
here
y'all don't want that. I'm a little rusty. I might trip and fall. But I think the one of the most important things for me, it's easy for me to pivot. But the difficulty is when a team has been working so hard on one thing, and then you say, we're going to throw that away. We can't do that. Because I always say that there's a wall.
Yes.
And a lot of the times we'll put our head in the sand and we know we're approaching that wall, but we keep going because we have so much money and time and energy and don't want to disappoint, And I'm like, I will throw everything out and pivot. And I've done that with my modeling career. I've done that even with being a television producer. And now we do it with Smize Cream. Believe me, there have been so many pivots with Smize Cream. We finally hit it. But it's really getting the buy-in from the team so that you don't kill the morale. And in this process, we have lost some team members because they're doing stuff and we say, that's great. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, that's great. Oh, no, it's not. And startup culture is not for everyone. But we make sure that they leave and they go up.
And it's really, as you've said, knowing when to say yes and when to say no.
Yes.
And I love that story of when you said no, when you were being offered the opportunity to have your own magazine, like Oprah, Tyra, and you said no because you felt that you didn't have the bandwidth to create an entire magazine.
Yes.
And that's how, through that no, that you regretted later, although no more, right? No more regrets.
I don't regret it right now, but I have many things that I've had that I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? Do you know that Stan Lee called me into a meeting many years ago and said that he wanted to develop a comic inspired by me called Supermodel something? And I was like, what's that? I want to be in your movies. just young, dumb mistakes, that I look back on and I learn from. And there's other ones. The magazine, would that make sense right now? But yeah, there's a, and it's happening with Smize Cream right now. There's a lot of opportunities and we have to decide when you're a startup, it's just exciting and you're like, yes, but we're still a small team. We can't do everything.
But also when you said no to the magazine, because you thought you had to do everything.
I did, I didn't understand.
It helped you understand the power of a team.
100%, Arianna. I, to this day, am learning to be a better delegator and learning not to do the work of the team. So Louis has a famous word. He just says, go. You figure it out and you come back. And I'm like, but we're a startup and they're going to mess up and that's going to cost us money. And here I am going, no, let me, nurture them and talk to them and mentor them and do it over. And so there's something in the middle. I'm a mess and I think you're crazy too. I think there's something in the middle of nurturing, but then saying, okay, now go. And it's okay to make the mistake.
So what I found really helps delegate is when you are willing to say to yourself, I'm going to delegate this to this person. They are going to do it 60% as well as I would have done it. And that's okay because it frees me up to do something that otherwise would be left undone.
Yes.
So you need to accept that it's not going to be perhaps as great as you would have done it, ever. But, so we only have time for one last question.
Okay.
How would you have defined success when you started, 15-year-old Tyra going to Paris and booking 25 shows, which was unheard of? And how would you define success now? What has changed?
As a young girl with modeling aspirations, I probably would have defined success as being on the cover of every magazine and people seeing me and being like, oh my gosh, she's so great. There's something in the industry called go-sees or castings. Success meant not having to audition or go on castings anymore, to be direct booked. That was success. I think success for me now is, personally, even though I do television and stuff, success for me now would be like not having to worry about doing TV. I have on flat shoes for a reason. I'm so tired of heels. I am over them. I hate them. Success for me means people, a grandparent, telling their child, 30 years from now, their grandchild, that woman, that old lady, you know, she used to be a model. And they're like, what? I thought she was just an ice cream maker. That is success for me. That my past led me someplace, and I'm not ashamed. Supermodel, call me it all day. A lot of people that model don't want to be called that. They want to leave it behind. I have the badge, and I'm very proud of that. But I think this next chapter of being an entrepreneur in her flat shoes, on Zoom, with a beautiful top on and some panties and some
t-shirt.
Exactly.
Can we see the t-shirt?
Oh, this, no, shameless plug. Subtle. This is smize cream. But this is obsolete in a couple of months, guys. This is obsolete. So this is like a funeral a little bit. Yeah. But being remembered for being an entrepreneur, but even more than that, a company that stands for more than just ice cream. When people think about smize cream, I want them to think about themselves, not me, not the ice cream, but think about themselves and how this whole brand makes them think about themselves and makes them closer to making their dreams come true. You guys will see that in 2023.
And if you go outside beyond the courtyard, there is a smize truck, so you can go try it.
Yes, we have ice cream here. Stay now and respect all the different speakers, but after this section is finished, yes, we have...
Oh my God, listen, I was ready to have you walk out
I don't want people
right
to leave. I feel
go
bad.
Get ice cream.
Yes, but we call it an ice cream trunk. Different is better than better. Everybody has an ice cream truck, but who has an ice cream trunk? So go check it out. We have lots of flavors and a whole corporate plan that you guys can, delight your commissaries if you guys still have work in the office, or you can send ice cream to people at home. But you'll find out about it at our ice cream trunk. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's said at the summit stays at the summit.
Everybody will have to pay attention.
Almost no one sees this coming. Those founders are becoming more globally ambitious. They're coming after your talent, your capital, your market share.
The difficulty is when a team has been working so hard on one thing.
If you are trying to use your time and your talent and your money in the service of others, the work will never end.
We have to deal with inequities.
It's different if you're a founder, but when you walk into something so big and so perfect and so successful, it's not about me. It's about me becoming a part of it and just evolving it and making it better.
The thing that I love about it, and that makes me so optimistic, is that it's just creating more dialogue.
I'm here to tell you that, wow, human innovation's incredible.
This is Masters of Scale Summit.